Hey there, everyone. I just wanted to show off my 1979 Lincoln Mark V here again. Man, it's been 3 or so years I last made a video with this car. It's been parked here in California. I've been in Alaska, and since I was here, I'm leaving tomorrow. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to finish this project, but I started to polish the paint correct it. You can see it's not bad. It's been under a cover this whole time. There is still a bit of a shine to it, but it's a bit chalky, bit oxidized. You can see, I'm bringing about a shade back when I want to finish that job, but it runs pretty good still. Luckily, I had drained the gas when I had left it here, but unfortunately, mice got into it just under the hood, nothing interior-wise, but they chewed through some spark plug wires, and that was about it, fortunately. Fuel lines are still good. Carburetor was still good. I ended up addressing the switches because a seat solenoid was jamming on with the corrosion going on somewhere. It wasn't in the switch, which is weird. It was something in the seat was causing that. But it's great. Unfortunately, I lost my emblem under the cover. The back and forth of wind and the car cover is just shifting over time ruined the emblem. But you can see I put new spark plug wires in there. It has an AC, a remand AC, which is really strange. I think this was put in just before I got it, but unfortunately it does not work. I bet you I could find some R12, because it's still, even though whoever did this install, because this looks new, this isn't an older looking AC unit here. I think they just threw a new compressor on it, and they let the stuff leak out of it, the Freon. But yeah, I got some new spark plug wires, new cap and rotor. I just blew out all the garbage. Unfortunately, I still have my hydraulic leak I told you guys about in that video from years ago about when you should buy one of these cars. I still absolutely would recommend one if you can find one nowadays. I know they're getting kind of collectible, but man, what a joy to drive this car. A lot of cars I like, and a lot of cars that I've just had, but this one is close to being my favorite. Unfortunately, the vacuum lines, there's some kind of vacuum leak somewhere. These will close when the engine's on, when it pulls vacuum, but it doesn't hold vacuum. So I'm sure some line has been just rotted. But yeah, let me start it up. It runs really great. Interior is still really great. Just an amazing place to be. I got a wad of keys here, and only one of them works. Give it a pump, and I about quarter throttle. Fires right up. Because this is a 79, all of them had the 400. Oh. That was weird. The choke just gave out or something. That was very strange. The car just almost shut off there. This thing runs great once it's up to temperature, though. Lights work. I think the interior lights work. They should. Oh yeah. These switches can go bad. I can't really see yet. It's too light out still. But you can hear the thing click up there when the hoods come down over the headlights. It has the moonroof. It does not have the bezel. That unfortunately shattered when I was sealing this part up. I also had tried to fix my sunroof here, but it's a really weird, cable-driven sunroof, and this is a huge, wide piece of glass. and the cables had just gotten worn down and they weren't accepting the little gear anymore. But the motor still works. I just keep that closed so no sun cooks down on this. Unfortunately, my dash is cracked on this. Just the downside of having a California car. You know, even though it's been covered, these were both here before I got the car. So, you know, a bit tragic, but it happens. Idle it down a little bit. It has a bit of a misfire. I wonder if I didn't plug in one of those cables all the way. Yeah, something's up with that. I know the oil's good, all that stuff. It's been very reliable, but I'm not too sure as to what that misfire is from. I could just be losing my mind. It could just be an exhaust leak. You know, it's not that bad. I'll take it for a quick little spin here. I don't want to go too far. With that hydraulic leak, you can lose brakes. You can hear a little bit of that happening right there. Yeah, the power steering's low on this thing. It leaks out all over the headers. It's a line that goes directly into the power steering, so I might need a full new power steering box. I don't know. It shouldn't be that bad, but there's no bolt or jam nut or whatever you call it. But that's fine. Let's turn those lights on just in case. But yeah, this is just wonderful to drive still. Love the long hood. This is about as far as I'm going to take it with this hydraulic leak. I don't want to run out and have those brakes just go completely mushy on me. I'm not even holding the wheel at lock either, which can cause a bit of, you know, noise. Starting the Ford iconic power steering noise. Yeah, it needs power steering, but starting that joke of the every 10th gen F-150 having that awful noise going. What a great car. You know, it needs a bit of work still, but it's just not my main focus right now with college and being, you know, 2,000 miles away from the car, but hey, it's still sweet. Yeah, it needs power steering before I move this out of here. I can smell it a little bit. Idle's alright. Doesn't diesel. You can hear that hissing from some bad vacuum lines. Oh, that's a bad leak. You can almost hear it going flat. Yeah, that's a bad leak. I'm sure it's one of those awful little cracked hoses. It's not really a rubber line. It's one of those awful little plastic lines. Don't know if you can see it, but there was a bit of white smoke coming out from that power steering burning off on the exhaust manifold there. Not great. But hey, you know, it's interesting with these cars, man. I've noticed they've gone from... Oh yeah, you can see a bit of smoke rising up out of there, maybe. You know, these cars have gone from kind of undesirable, unwanted 10 years ago. You know, I got in on it right kind of when they were starting. Even still, even though they're still not really desirable. There's a lot of smoke coming out up there. Let me just pop the hood so I can show you guys what's happening with that. But, you know, 10 years ago, these cars were not good. These were not seen as cool cars. You know, to the select few like us who own these cars, we've always loved these cars, but, you know, they just weren't in fashion. But that one Billy Joel song, you know, all you need is a light blue Continental. It's still rock and roll to me. I don't know. There's a lot of smoke rolling up out of here. Yep. Oh man, it's getting bad. Yeah, there's a lot of junk in there. This is not good. That line may have actually just gotten worse. It's not this one right here with the little blue clip on it. I actually replaced that line a few years ago, and I thought that was the one leaking. But I think it's I don't know how to explain it. There's two lines, and there's like that new looking line. The old line that I think is leaking is right next to it. But that needs to get addressed, because I know power steering fluid is flammable, and that would be such a dumb way to lose a car like this through a bad power steering line. Come on. Just overall an amazing rig though. What a cool car. You know, I've always thought that the 70s could have been executed really cool, like the cars. I love that tweed almost, really thin line, you know, sharp 90-degree angles were really cool. And this car was definitely, I'd say, one of the better examples of a Malaise era luxury car. It's not one of those tiny, disgusting little like Dodge Ambassadors, or you know what I'm talking about, like the you know, half-sized cars. Just looked off. Same with Cadillac. You know, they got small early, and you know, they have definitely recovered, and kind of they're in better shape than Lincoln. But Lincoln, I definitely was cool example to see a car this large, this truly just massive, being built in 1979. You know, up here is a 64 Continental convertible, and yeah, it's long, but I believe this two-door coupe is actually longer than that 64 Lincoln. Yeah, I don't know how much more I could really say about this tonight, but you know, you can see a bit of power steering leaking down there. Yeah, this is my Lincoln Mark V after 7 years of ownership. I absolutely still love it, still would recommend anyone to have one, and yeah, have a nice night, everyone. See ya.